JP here from my point of view on Castlevania Lords of Shadow Ultimate Edition. This is a re-release of the 2010 game by Spanish devs Mercury Steam that includes the 2 DLC, Reverie and Resurrection, for a modest price of $30 on Steam. Initially released for the PS3 and 360 3 years ago, the biggest complaint with the game, and the reason that I didn't play it past Chapter 2, was simply the frame rate. It was horrible. No, like really bad. This is not the case anymore on the PC. In fact, this might be one of the best looking games I've played all year. We'll jump in game, but I do want to show you guys the graphic options real quick. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it. This book has actually shown up a lot, and we'll get to exactly what that is. There are some extras included in this. I think you get the combat display after you beat the game. Take a real look at the options. I'm playing with the gamepad. You can play it with the keyboard, but I do not recommend it. Video-wise, it's a pretty simple screen. It does include shadow, vertical sync, anti-aliasing, and you can do AA and ambient occlusion. Look, I'm running this, and I typically pull 120 frames-ish, and my system's by no means a beast. So it is very well optimized. There's 3 difficulties when you first unlock everything, or sorry, when you first play the game. Then, of course, when you beat it, you unlock Paladin. Turn the vibration off, and, of course, multiple languages here. So let's jump into the game. Game's set up in chapters. You can actually see how many chapters there are in the game. The demo at the start, or sorry, the demo that you can download from Steam will simply put you through these 2 right here. But the first chapter is 5. It kind of shows you a good idea of what the game is, ending with a big epic fight on Oblivion Lake. But we'll let you kind of discover the Ice Titan on your own. We're going to start in chapter 2. And when you go into each chapter, when you go into each little section of each chapter, in fact, you get some exposition. So let's go ahead and take a look at that.
We part ways, he and I. My instincts tell me he is filled with hope, a hope that will drive him ever onwards. Good. Perhaps he is the one, a warrior of pure heart who can deliver us from all evil. Perhaps. I wonder what went through his mind when he saw her there, his beloved. Did he see his dreams, or did he see his future blown away like leaves on the wind? I spy him as he heads out towards the reaches of Pan's influence. A forest lies to the east that leads to the land of the lichens. The ruin of an ancient civilization is there, forgotten and decaying. Once a proud testament to man's ingenuity and vision, it has now been conquered by nature, as she claims all things for her own.
Now, you probably recognize that voice. That is, of course, none other than Patrick Stewart. He voices one of the central characters in the game, Zobek, who happens to be an ally of the main character of the game, which you play, Gabriel Belmont, of course, who is voiced by Robert Carlyle. And the other main character, Gabriel's wife, Maria, is voiced by Natasha McElhorn. Of course, if you've seen Californication, she's Hank's wife, if you didn't know that. The voice acting in the game is very good. I enjoy these little segments, but let's just show you. Look at how good this looks. Incredible. It looks, for a game that came out and was made in 2010, just looks incredible. We're going to have some simple platforming here. And this is really where I think the biggest weaknesses are in this game. It's a fixed camera throughout the entire game. And sometimes they do it right, sometimes they do it wrong. And it gets really annoying most of the time when you're traversing through these areas that it changes the camera on you. So, for example, I don't know if it's going to do it here, but sometimes I'll just be running right. And then the camera will shift directions, and that right input into the keypad goes a different direction than what you would want to go. They get most of it right, but every now and then it does get annoying. We're just going to jump straight into combat here, and the combat's pretty interesting. I don't know what that is. This is a new element. What is that going to do? Okay. I absorb some magic. Oh, interesting. Well, now I'm a fucking glowy badass. You only get neutral elemental orbs by killing enemies with your magic off. Okay. Well, they're still introducing new stuff here in Chapter 2, but so far the combat has been less than amazing. Oh, we can actually show you guys kind of how you update. And maybe this is why it hasn't been all that incredible. Because I haven't really upgraded it all. So you can buy skills. For example, Light Flash. It'll cost 1,500. Is it just going to make me buy this? Oh, these are all... Wow. That costs 6,000. Okay, here's the book. So it does have the collector kind of thing. What's the best word for this? There's collecting in the game. There's collectibles. You can get life gems to increase your life, and what I just learned, light gems to increase your mana, so to speak. I have daggers that I can throw, and I have a whip. Gives you a little bit of exposition on everything there. It's also got a huge character database as well as monsters, and that's not what I wanted to do. And then it has unlockable skills, and let's actually unlock some here. I could upgrade the guillotine, air grab, flying kick, area counter strike, direct heavy combo. You know, let's look at that circular chain. And I do like this. It kind of shows you what it actually is going to be there. Combination attack useful in many different battle situations. It begins with a direct attack, clearly followed by 2 area attacks. Uses to attack an enemy directly. Yeah, sure, that's cool. I'll buy that. New skills have been unlocked. Cool. Okay, let's do it. Looks great. It looks awesome, actually, at what I'm running at 1920 by 1080 at 120 hertz. But I can't get over how good this game looks. It's forcing me to walk, so I assume there's going to be something to be shown here in front of me. When you really think about it, this game was actually made 3 years ago, and that was at a time in our industry where things like QuickTime events and button prompts on the screen were just rampant, and it was how you made these action games. So if you kind of go into this with that in mind, then the combat, like you can see right there, I was fighting something off screen, it's really annoying. Then the combat's not all that bad, but they are very present. How do I collect these things? I don't really know. Well, that's what I get for trying to talk and read at the same time. The button presses, they're not that rampant. Maybe we'll see some here. Oh, did I really like walk into a puzzle on stream? This is going to be not good. Or on camera. The button presses happen when you are in a kind of a jam, when you have to make a quick action. And it's a little bit annoying. But for the most part, they're not that prevalent in the game. Right now I'm basically just mashing X. X is your heavy attack, A is your area attack. That was actually the spell I just purchased. You can also grab enemies over here. Maybe they'll pop out. How do I... Oh, that's right, I tapped. Okay. I'll try to grab an enemy here in a second to show you guys really what that means. Okay, here's a perfect example that we can show off for the camera. So this is me pressing left, right? I'm just going to move the analog stick to the left. Now it's moving me up on the screen while I'm pressing left. It's a little bit disorienting. And it does kind of affect you from time to time. But is it enough to not play the game? I mean, that's really for you to make the decision on. Like I said, I'm playing this game because it looks gorgeous, and I love the way it looks. And I love the art style. I love the character design. Well, that's not what I want. Okay, so jumping puzzles. Yep. Oh, there's that camera moving again. What am I supposed to do here? Oh, I simply... Okay, here you go. This is what I'm talking about. Button prompts on screen. And you still see these, of course, in this day and age. I will say that graphically, this game, probably on YouTube, since YouTube can't support, or does not support, rather, 60 FPS. If you have the slightest interest in this game and you're not really sold by how good it looks, download the demo for this game because it runs beautifully at 60 FPS. Right now, I am running a capturing device, capturing this footage, and I'm still pulling 90 FPS, and it's rendering a lot. Like, there's a ton going on screen. So it is very well optimized, and it runs flawlessly on a ton of systems. I've even seen a bunch of pictures of it running at whatever the resolution above 1440 is, as I don't know that off the top of my head. But it runs great. Now, what is this in here? See these little on-screen prompts for... Okay, so I believe I can smash through this. I just have to remember... There we go. Pretty cool little intro. I'm probably going to start finding something. Every now and then the shadows look a little bit not the greatest. You can see on the screen right there, they're not that well rendered. But they're not bad. They're not... What does a focus scroll do? They're not game breaking by any means. What does this do? Combat focus in the ancient technique from the Brotherhood of Light. Once fully focused, capable warrior connects. What? I don't... Whatever. Oh. The focus bar is shown at the bottom of the screen during combat light. All of the runes by hitting enemies and avoiding damage. Sure. One of the other things you can do in fights is dodge. That's it. Now maintain your focus. By hitting the left trigger, which I did not just do, and the direction that you want to dodge in, you can basically do this roll maneuver. And it really adds kind of a sense of fluidity, maybe, to combat, to where you're not just spamming X the entire time. A lot of these guys are just kind of meat wagons. I'm playing this on the one in between easy and hard on the first playthrough. You can see that these guys do have a lot of HP. Maybe I need to turn this on? You should find a way to blow this barrier up. Alright, so here's how you blow the barrier up. These guys throw grenades at you. Oh, that's a button prompt right there that you just saw on screen. Which I did not mean to do. Whoops. Pressing B allows you to throw these daggers. They are basically one-shots. Wow, that guy got in my way. I really wish I would stop grabbing these guys and grab the bombs on the ground. There we go. I think I honestly think the more that I play the game, the better the combat is really starting to feel. And I don't know if that's because I'm just in awe of the fact that it's running at 60 frames and looking this good, or if it's like fun combat. I haven't really fought too many enemies aside from those little werewolf guys, the lichens, as well as the goblins. But I assume there's a good chunk. I mean, in the first chapter, there was a whole different variety of locales. We went to an ice plain area. We were in a forest. We were in kind of badland situations like this. So it does seem like there's a good variety of what's in the game. All right, jumping puzzle, perhaps. These do exist. Almost kind of makes me feel a little bit like Assassin's Creed-ish. I probably should have jumped there. Ooh, see, that was a weird... What is that? Oh. I finished the level. I still wanted to kind of explore, but, you know... I think that that's a good little perspective on this game. I don't think there's too much more to really show. You get rated at the end of kind of each little mini chapter. Tells you what you killed. Tells you the weapon upgrade. So apparently there was a dagger weapon upgrade that I did not find, so I do need to go back and unlock that. There's also artwork that you unlock, but that's not really anything big. So yeah, Castlevania Lords of Shadow Ultimate Edition, $30. You get a whole game, 2 DLCs. It's probably the best version of this game because it ran like absolute shit on consoles. It's on a PC, you can use a gamepad with it. To be honest, it scored pretty well when this game first came out, and I would imagine that if you go back and read all of those reviews, every single one of them, one of the biggest issues was, 1, the fixed camera, and 2 was the FPS. The FPS is fixed. If you can live with the fixed camera, then I would definitely say this game is worth checking out. $30 is not a huge amount of money for entry into the series, or sorry, into the game. It's got a lot of Castlevania lore in it. The ending is one of the most controversial endings, I think, in games, and please do not comment on that in the comments here. And before we close this out, I do want to talk about one thing, and that is kind of the JPOVs moving forward. A lot of people in the previous JPOV brought up concerns that it was more of a let's play than kind of a quick look or a WTF is. And that's kind of what I'm going for here. The first part's going to be informational, what the game is, showing the different systems within the game, and then showing you 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes of gameplay with kind of my commentary over it. If that's something that you guys don't like, then please tell me in the comments, because at the end of the day, I do want to create content that you guys want to watch. But to go back on this game, I'm enjoying it. I will finish playing through this game one way or the other. Even though I already know the ending, it's worth it. It's going to be a lot of fun. You should check it out. It's available on Steam. $30, like I said. And the new one is actually right around the corner, and it's a direct sequel. So if you want to play the new game, play the original. Play the best version. It's on PC. $30. Castlevania Lords of Shadow Ultimate Edition. I'm JP McDaniel. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.